Hi, I'm Tori Spirit, and thank you for joining us for Art and Culture. Today we are going to be talking about art theory and the color wheel. You're going to learn everything you need to know about color in order to create your compositions. Let's get to it.
Throughout history, artists have used color to create interesting pieces of art. Color theory is both a science and the art of using color. Another name for color is hue. There are two basic essentials when working with color theory. The first essential is the property of color. The property of color begins with the color spectrum, which is the natural order of colors. The natural order of colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. The second essential is the effective organization of colors within a composition. Simply put, it is all the colors that make up the elements that make up that piece of art. Within the basic essentials, artists use the color wheel. Understanding the color wheel is helpful to see the relationship between colors, and it is also helpful to organize colors into color schemes. Let's begin with primary colors. Primary colors cannot be made by mixing colors together, but they are the colors that are used to make all other colors. Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. A composition that uses only red, yellow, and blue as a color scheme would be a primary color scheme, also known as a triad color scheme. Then we have secondary colors. Secondary colors use primary colors mixed together to make a new color. When you mix two primary colors, you get a secondary color. The secondary colors are orange, green, and violet. When you mix red and yellow, you create orange. When you mix yellow and blue, you create green, and when you mix blue and red, you create violet. When observing a basic color wheel, you notice that there are more than just 6 colors. Not only the primary and secondary colors, but you also have intermediate colors, also known as tertiary colors. These colors are created by mixing the primary and secondary colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. Mixing them together creates an intermediate color. When you mix red and orange, you create an intermediate hue called red-orange. You will remember the correct name of the color by knowing that you always name the primary color first. This is because you will be naming the strongest color first. Mix orange and yellow and you create yellow-orange. Mix yellow and green and you create yellow-green. Mix green and blue and you create blue-green. Mix blue and violet and you create blue-violet. Mix violet and red and you create red-violet. You now have a total of 12 colors that create the basic color wheel. As you already know, you can create a color scheme that consists of primary colors. You can also create a color scheme that consists of secondary colors, orange, green, and violet. The color wheel is also divided into 2 halves, which is divided into temperatures, that is warm or cool colors. Warm colors include 7 colors: red-violet, red, red-orange, orange, yellow-orange, yellow, and yellow-green. When using a warm color scheme, you will create a vivid, energetic composition. The second half of the color wheel includes cool colors, which are also 7 colors. They are yellow-green, green, blue-green, blue, blue-violet, violet, and red-violet. Using a cool color scheme will create a cool and reserved composition. You may have noticed that I said that there were 7 in each color scheme, but there are only 12 colors. This is because violet and yellow-green fall in between warm and cool color schemes. This is where the wheel is divided into warm and cool colors, and therefore these colors can fall into either warm or cool depending on the colors that they are grouped with. When we organize colors, we create a color scheme. We already talked about a primary color scheme and a secondary color scheme, but there's more. These color schemes are called a triad, and they don't just include the primary and secondary colors. Look at your color wheel and notice that with this triangle, you can spin it around and point at any color you like, and you will see that it will point at 2 other colors. These 3 colors together will compose of a triad color scheme. A color triad consists of 3 colors that is equally spaced together on your color wheel, all equally Triadic placement is considered a color triad, and when found in a composition, it is a color triad color scheme. We also talked about warm and cool color schemes. Warm and cool color schemes are also known as analogous color schemes. Analogous colors are harmoniously groups of 3 to 5 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, such as red, orange, and yellow. Analogous color schemes are not always necessarily warm or cool color schemes. This is because an analogous color scheme can have both warm and cool colors, such as yellow-green, green, and blue-green. Complementary colors are any two colors that are directly opposite of each other on the color wheel, such as red and green, yellow and violet, or blue and orange. Intermediate colors also have complementary colors such as red-violet and yellow-green. They are opposite of each other on the color wheel, and they too are complementary colors. Complementary color scheme is used to create a strong contrast when paired together. And then we have a monochromatic color scheme. This is a color scheme that contains variations of the same color. It may include colors that are lighter or darker than the main color. It may also include a muted variation of that color, and it can also include different shades, tints, and tones of that color. Monochromatic color scheme creates a sense of calm and serenity. When used in a space, it makes it feel bigger and more expansive while keeping that calm feeling. Let's talk about neutral colors. They are black and white. You cannot make black and white, but having the primary colors plus these two colors will allow you to make every single color or any color you can imagine. In the category of neutral colors, there are 4. They are black, white, gray, and brown. They are not found on the color wheel, but they are essential in mixing colors. You can mix black and white to make gray. In order to make brown, and if you want a true brown, you can mix 1/2 red plus 1/4 yellow and 1/4 blue, and that would create a true brown. A true brown is also made by mixing red and green. Remember, yellow and blue makes green. In order to create a shade of a color, such as red, for example, you want to add black or a darker color to that color to create a shade of that color. In order to create a tint of a color, for example red, you want to add white to that color or a lighter shade of color to create a tint of that color. And in order to create a tone of a color, for example red, you need to add gray to that color or a dull color in order to create a tone of that color. Making a muted color is easy as well. You want to add brown to your color in order to create a mutilation of that color to make it more calm and not as vibrant. Muted colors are considered to be the opposite of a vibrant color.
Now that you understand everything you need to know about color, the color wheel, and color schemes, you are able to create beautiful compositions that make sense. Show me your artwork below. I would love to see it. And join us next time when we create our very own color wheel. Bye. See you next time.